Imagine if everything you believe to be true about the companion who walks beside you is incomplete. That this furry being sleeping at the foot of your bed, the one whose bark welcomes you home, the soul who seems to understand the weather of your heart, is more than a simple animal. This is not a story you have heard before. It is an opening of a gate, a glimpse into a truth that, once seen, can change the landscape of your heart forever. It is an ancient knowing, a truth that was spoken into the world by a voice from the great stillness. A man who, in a state of profound quiet, could touch the river of knowledge that flows beneath all things. This wisdom teaches us a simple, profound truth: every dog has a purpose, a path that has merged with your own. They are guardians of the heart, cloaked in fur. Their loyalty is not born of instinct alone. It is a vow, a silent agreement made in a place beyond our memory. They feel the shifting currents of your inner world, sometimes before you do. The connection is not of the flesh. It is of the spirit. It flows like a current between your worlds. This was a voice that could quiet the body's storms, that could look upon the river of time and see both its source and its destination. But its most profound whisper was not of grand destinies. It was about the silent companion at your feet, for it touched upon an experience that millions of hearts feel every day, yet struggle to name. I invite you to ask yourself, why did this soul enter your life at the precise moment it did? Out of all the beings in all the world, why did your paths cross? And why does it carry the exact spirit it does, its unique blend of courage and quirks, of silence and song? There are no accidents on this path, only a design of breathtaking precision, a spiritual purpose hidden in the simple vessel of unconditional love. Today, we will uncover this mystery together. We will understand why this guardian is truly in your life. If our paths are to journey together for a time, I invite you to make our connection visible. A simple click to like this reflection and another to subscribe ensures you will be notified when the next gate opens. Let us walk on. Pause, just for a breath. Remember the story of how you first met. Perhaps you walked into a shelter just to look and walked out with a new current in your life's river. Or perhaps this soul appeared, lost at your doorstep. Or maybe you resisted until an unseen force gently, irresistibly turned your mind. Do you truly believe this was a chance happening? Ancient wisdom reveals a truth that changes everything about that first meeting. You knew each other long before your eyes met in this lifetime. You share a river that flows beyond time, beyond form, beyond even the gateway of death. In the great quiet, before we choose the shape of our lives, we make agreements with other souls. Contracts of the heart that define the roles we will play for one another. These include our families, our friends, and yes, the souls who agree to walk on 4 legs beside us. This teaching comes from a lineage of seeing, from a man of humble beginnings. A simple man born on a farm who discovered an extraordinary gift within his own quiet depths. At a young age, a strange illness took his voice. The doctors said it was a permanent silence, but in a state of deep meditation, something impossible occurred. In this stillness, a different voice spoke through him. It not only saw the root of his own physical ailment with perfect clarity, but also described the exact path to healing. His voice returned, whole and clear. It was soon discovered that from this place of sleep, this deep trance, he could touch the lives of others. He needed only a name to see into their physical bodies, to feel their spiritual paths, to glimpse the echoes of their past and the possibilities of their future. For over 40 years, this wellspring of knowledge flowed. It documented in thousands of readings. Physicians confirmed the accuracy of his visions. Strangers testified to the truth of his words. Wise men studied his methods, but the source remained a mystery. He was called the sleeping prophet, for he himself remembered nothing. A greater wisdom simply used him as a vessel, and it was this wisdom that unveiled the sacred contract with our 4-legged guardians. The knowledge that came through was consistent, clear. It described how different forms of life hold different purposes on this earth. It explained how certain souls are drawn to certain people, like rivers finding their way to the sea. Pets, it revealed, are bridges. They stand with paws in both the seen and the unseen worlds. But dogs, according to this wisdom, hold a sacred, unique position. They are the only beings who made a conscious pact with humanity. Not a pact for survival, not a pact of domestication, a spiritual agreement. They chose, this teaching says, to walk beside humans on their journey of awakening. They offered up a part of their wild spirit to become companions of the heart. This is a vow that echoes across lifetimes. What makes this revelation so potent is that it was spoken decades before our modern science began to explore the emotional worlds of animals. It described truths that our instruments would only begin to verify 50 years later. The teaching explains that a dog's spirit is like water. It is more sensitive than our own. It can feel the presence of things unseen, detect the subtle shifts in the light of our souls, and even sense the future as it gathers in the currents of the present. A dog knows when its purpose with a person is complete, the ancient voice said. They also know when it is time to depart. This is not a moment for sadness. It is a moment of fulfillment, a mission completed. In these teachings, it was often described how dogs serve as perfect mirrors for the souls they guide. If a human heart needs to learn of loyalty, a soul will be born as a dog of unwavering devotion. If the lesson is patience, a more stubborn, wild spirit may arrive. If there are wounds of the heart that need tending, a dog with a gentle, healing nature will be drawn to them. This was not theory. It was spoken with the same clarity as a physician seeing into a body. To this voice, there was no difference between healing the body and understanding the soul. It was all one flow, one interconnected sacred reality. Today, many years after this voice fell silent, its truth about dogs continues to be felt in the hearts of millions. People speak of silent communication, of protection from unseen harm, of personal awakenings catalyzed by the being sleeping on their floor. The credibility of this wisdom comes not just from its mysterious source, but from how its truth has resonated in human experience across the generations. When this wisdom speaks of a dog's sacred purpose, it is not speculating. It is transmitting knowledge from a deeper current of reality, and that knowledge is about to change your relationship with your companion forever. You will see that their very personality, their every quirk, is a message for you. For Canaan souls choose their human families before they are born into this world. The teaching, spoken in a session that left all who heard it in deep emotion, explained this. They study the landscape of our soul. They see what we need for our spiritual journey, and they prepare themselves to serve us perfectly. This means your dog is not merely an animal you found. It is a soul that accepted a mission to help you on your path. It knows your shadows. It knows your deepest fears. It knows what parts of your heart are calling for healing, and it came with the precise character needed to work on these things with you. Reflect on your dog's spirit. If it is fiercely protective, perhaps you are being invited to explore your own relationship with safety and trust. If it is full of play, like a bubbling spring, perhaps your soul needs to relearn joy. If it is calm, like a still forest pool, your own spirit may be crying out for peace. The connection goes deeper still. The teachings reveal that many dogs are souls who have been with us before, in other lifetimes. They return to continue the sacred work they began long ago. The recognition of a soul from a past life is immediate. The ancient voice said, "There is a familiarity that needs no explanation, a bond that does not need to be built, for it already exists strong and deep." Have you felt this? The sense that you have known your companion for far longer than the calendar shows. That is not imagination. It is the memory of the soul. The signs of this ancient bond are clear if you know how to look. Your dog may react to certain places as if remembering them. It may hold fears or deep loves that make no sense in the context of its current life. It may have a wisdom, a way of being that seems ancient, carried from another time. The wisdom also revealed something even more profound. Some of these guardians of human souls who have chosen to take the form of an animal to serve one they love. These are the truly special ones. The dogs with human eyes. The ones who show a compassion so deep it can break your heart. They act at times with an understanding that feels anciently human. These souls make an immense sacrifice. They set aside the human path to serve as a guardian. It is an act of love so pure it is rarely understood. This explains why some dogs seem to grasp complex truths, why their empathy is so finely tuned, why they seem to be teaching us something fundamental just by being themselves. The timing of your meeting is also no accident. Your dog arrives in your life at the precise moment its medicine is needed. It may be during a storm in your life, when you feel lost. It may be when you are on the cusp of a great change, or when you are about to walk a path that will require the exact support that only this soul can offer. The ancient seer described this perfect timing as part of the sacred choreography of our lives. Nothing is by chance. Every meeting has a purpose. Every connection, a meaning. And the mission of dogs is one of the most sacred. They come to teach us what our busy minds have forgotten: unconditional love, loyalty that does not waver, forgiveness that is instantaneous, the pure joy of the present moment, complete acceptance. But they also come to be our silent protectors, to help us heal the wounds of the past, and to prepare our hearts for the next steps on our journey. When you look at your companion now, you are not just seeing an animal. You are seeing a spiritual being, a brave soul who chose to merge its path with yours, to walk with you through every season of your life. Why does your dog sometimes act as if protecting you from something you cannot see? Why does it grow restless in a particular place? Why does it seem to feel danger long before you are aware? The answer flows far deeper than animal instinct. They are spiritual guardians living among us, while we humans, on our long journey, have allowed our spiritual senses to grow dull. Dogs have kept this ability bright and clear. They can see, feel, and perceive dimensions of reality that our rational minds have learned to ignore, and they use this clear sight to protect us in ways we may never fully comprehend. Dogs are spiritual sentinels, the ancient wisdom explained. They can sense negative presences, heavy energies, even spiritual beings that draw near to their human companions. When your dog barks at an empty corner of the room, it is not barking at nothing. It is speaking to something that is there, but that lies beyond the veil of your own perception. A dog's ability to see into the unseen is one reason so many ancient cultures held them as sacred. But their protection goes beyond sounding an alarm. They are living shields of energy. They absorb negativity directed toward those they love, and they transform this heavy energy within their own field of light. A dog can absorb a vast amount of the negative energy meant for its human companion. The teachings say they do this consciously. It is part of their mission, a service offered from pure love. This explains a deep mystery: why some dogs develop illnesses that seem to echo their owner's own troubles, be they of the body or the heart. They are not just becoming sick, they are, quite literally, taking on and processing toxic energies to protect their families. The teachings describe 3 levels of this spiritual guardianship. First, the basic protection of energy. Every dog creates a field of safety around its home and family. They can feel when a person is approaching with a heavy heart or negative intent long before they reach the door. This is why a dog may bark or become agitated at the approach of a particular person. Second, protection against unseen entities. Dogs can see and interact with spirits in the dimensions nearest to our own. They serve as a natural barrier, preventing negative spiritual influences from troubling their human families. Third, advanced psychic protection. Some dogs, especially those with the deepest spiritual bond with their people, can intercept energies sent with intention. Heavy thoughts, anger, or ill will directed at you can be absorbed and neutralized by your guardian before it ever reaches you. What makes this protection so profound is that it is freely offered. Dogs are not forced into this role. They choose it. It is part of the sacred contract made before this life began. A dog's loyalty is not just instinct, the wisdom explains. It is spiritual commitment. They promise to protect and serve, and they keep that promise with every beat of their hearts. This dedication explains behaviors we often misunderstand. When your dog dislikes a certain person, it is not being unsocial. It is feeling something in that person's energy that it perceives as a threat to you. When it insists on sleeping in your room or on your bed, it is not being spoiled. It is standing guard during your most vulnerable hours. During sleep, our own energy field is more open. Dogs know this. They increase their vigilance while we rest. The wisdom also revealed that dogs can sense negative events before they happen. They feel the shifts in the energy field that come before accidents, illnesses, or crises. This is why they sometimes behave strangely, trying to warn us of something we cannot yet see. They see the future probability in the current of present energy. An agitated dog may be trying to warn of something that has not yet taken physical form, but is already gathering in the energetic world. This is one of the highest forms of protection they offer. They do not just react to present danger, they prepare us for the future. Now that you know your companion is a spiritual guardian, it is time to learn the language of the signs they are constantly sending you. Let us start with the most common and most misunderstood barking into an empty space. When your dog barks at a corner where you see nothing, it is seeing something. Every place holds energetic memories, the teaching reveals. A dog can read these memories like an open book. It barks to make you aware of an energy that could affect you. If it always barks in the same place, pay attention. The way it barks also holds meaning. Short, sharp barks often point to a physical presence. Long, deep barks may signal a heavy, negative energy. Quick, high-pitched barks can be a warning of immediate danger. Another common sign is the refusal to enter a space. If your dog avoids a certain room, it is acting as a compass for the heart. It feels when a space is heavy with negative energy. Respect its intuition. Have you watched your dog as it stares intently at something you cannot see? It becomes still, focused. In these moments, your dog is likely observing a spiritual presence. It could be a friendly spirit or simply a flow of energy. Its reaction is the key. If it is calm, the presence is likely benign. If it is tense, the energy may be one that needs to be cleared. Those moments when your dog approaches you for no reason and insists on being near also hold a special meaning. A dog can feel when our energy is unbalanced. It can feel when we are under a subtle psychic pressure. It comes near to offer its strength, its very presence reinforcing our own energy field. The next time this happens, pause. Check in with your own heart. Were you worried, anxious? Your guardian felt your need and answered the call before you made it. Overprotective behaviors are also important signs. If your dog suddenly starts following you everywhere, it may be sensing a time of spiritual vulnerability in your life. This often happens during periods of great change or emotional stress. Our energy becomes more open, and our dogs instinctively increase their protection. What is the strangest behavior you have ever seen in your companion? I invite you to share it in the space below. Let us discover together what silent messages are being sent. Even their relationship with food can be a spiritual sign. A dog that suddenly stops eating may be absorbing dense energies from its home or its humans. They can lose their appetite when they are engaged in heavy energetic work on behalf of their family. The ancient wisdom taught that when a dog refuses food for no medical reason, we should ask what is happening in the emotional heart of this home. Their sleep patterns also speak volumes. A dog that sleeps more than usual may be processing the heavy energies it has absorbed. Sleep is how they purify themselves. On the other hand, a dog that is restless at night may be detecting intense spiritual activity. It is standing watch while you are vulnerable. The most touching behavior described by the seer is when a dog begins to show excessive, tender affection for no apparent reason. It will seek more contact, more closeness. It does this when it senses that its mission, its time with you, is drawing to a close. It is as if they know their time is limited, and they want to fill every remaining moment with love. This knowledge gives us a beautiful responsibility to pay attention. For your dog is not only your guardian, it is a perfect mirror of your soul. Every quality, every behavior, every challenge your dog presents is reflecting something specific about your own inner journey. They are direct reflections of their human's inner state. They show us on the outside what we need to see about ourselves on the inside. Your dog, then, is an open book about your own soul. Let us look at an example that will change how you see things. An aggressive dog rarely belongs to a person who is outwardly aggressive. Instead, it often belongs to one who represses their own anger. The dog is giving voice to the fire that its human companion cannot or will not express. When you see a dog that is territorial or possessive, ask yourself, where in my life do I feel my space is being invaded? Where do I need to set clearer boundaries for my heart? The teachings say they arrive in our lives already carrying the exact personality to show us our own blind spots. Consider the common mirrors. An anxious dog often reflects a human who struggles with anxiety, even if it is hidden. They appear to those who need to learn to trust the flow of life. By helping our dog find peace, we are forced to find our own. A fearful dog mirrors our own repressed fears. It shows us how fear can shrink our world. In helping it find courage, we find our own. A stubborn dog reflects our own resistance to what is. They arrive to teach us flexibility, to show us that we cannot control the great river of life. A needy dog that demands constant attention can mirror our own emotional hunger, our need for approval. In teaching it to feel secure, we learn to give that same security to ourselves. But the most incredible mirror is how a dog's physical health can reflect our own emotional state. Digestive problems in a dog often point to a human who cannot stomach a situation in their life. Skin problems can reflect our issues with our own image, our own vulnerability. The skin is where our inner world meets the outer. Respiratory issues may reflect a feeling of being stifled or lacking freedom. And perhaps most poignantly, heart problems in a dog often mirror a human with a wounded or closed heart. They are literally absorbing the pain of their companion. They take on these burdens as an act of service. The ancient voice said, they would rather suffer in the body than see their master suffer in the soul. This gives us a profound responsibility. When our dog is unwell, we must also look within. What part of our own life is calling for healing? Often, when we do our own inner work, our companions mysteriously recover. But the mirror also works in the light. A joyful, balanced dog reflects a human who is in harmony. An affectionate dog mirrors a human who is open to love. Your dog's gifts can also reveal your own hidden talents. An intuitive dog may be reflecting psychic abilities that lie dormant in you. A deeply protective dog may be showing you your own natural gift for nurturing others. When we begin to see our dogs as mirrors of our soul, the relationship is transformed. Their behaviors cease to be problems to be fixed. They become lessons to be learned. Have you ever felt your dog was reading your mind? This communication is real. It does not depend on words. It happens through waves of thought, through images held in the mind, through a direct flow of energy between two hearts. Dogs are masters of this silent language. We humans developed words, and in doing so, we let our natural ability for telepathy fade. Dogs kept it pure. They are constantly receiving our thoughts, our feelings, and they are constantly sending us messages. The problem is not that they are silent. It is that we have forgotten how to listen. You have experienced this. You think of feeding your dog, and suddenly, it appears in the kitchen. It felt your intention. You feel a wave of sadness, but show no outward sign. Your dog approaches, offering comfort. It felt the weather of your heart. It goes to the door minutes before you arrive home, even when your schedule changes. It feels the thought of your return. This happens through what the great seer called a shared field of consciousness. When a bond is deep, you literally share a mental space. It is not magic. It is spiritual physics. Consciousness vibrates at a certain frequency. When two beings are tuned to the same frequency, communication becomes effortless. You can strengthen this. Here are some invitations. First, communication through images. Sit quietly. Close your eyes and hold a clear picture of what you want to communicate. To ask your dog to come, visualize it walking to you. Send this image from your heart without force. Second, the transmission of feeling. If you wish for calm, cultivate a deep feeling of peace within yourself. Your dog feels what you feel, not what you think. Third, the language of the eyes. Look softly into your dog's eyes. This creates a bridge. While holding this loving gaze, gently project your thought or feeling. You can speak words with just a look. Fourth, ask silent questions. Mentally ask, "Are you alright?" and watch its response. Its body, its energy will answer. Trust the first impression you receive. Dogs also try to communicate vital information. They can sense illness before symptoms appear. If your dog is obsessed with licking one spot on your body, pay attention. Trust its intuition when it shows a strong aversion to someone. It is reading an energy you cannot. If your dog acts strangely for no reason, it may be sensing a significant event on the horizon. Perhaps the most profound teaching is about their role as healers of the spirit. They are divine instruments of healing. They can absorb trauma, dissolve blockages of energy, and restore the balance of the heart. If you have ever felt a sense of peace from your dog's presence during a hard time, you have experienced this healing. It was not just comfort, it was a transfer of healing energy. Dogs can absorb heavy emotional energy, and like spiritual alchemists, they transform it. When you are in pain, your dog will draw near. It is not just offering a cuddle, it is literally pulling the energetic pain out of your system. After absorbing this dense energy, they process it. They transform it into light. Then, through their affection, they return this purified energy to you. This is why you feel better after being with them. The healing is most powerful during sleep. When we sleep near our dogs, our energy fields align, and healing happens on the deepest levels. This is why we have an instinct to keep them close. It is a true need for healing. Their healing is not just emotional. Their presence can stimulate physical healing. Their steady breath and heartbeat produce healing vibrations. Their warmth is energetic and can speed recovery. They intuitively know where to apply pressure to stimulate healing points in our body. Different dogs specialize. Large dogs are often masters at healing deep trauma. Small dogs are wonderful for anxiety. Calm dogs bring peace to a stressed mind. Playful dogs reignite the spark of life for those feeling depressed. They do this consciously. It is a choice. Our responsibility is to help them release the energies they absorb for us. Time in nature, joyful play, deep affection. These are how we help them purify themselves. It is our way of repaying the immeasurable service they offer. They are not just our pets. They are four-legged angels, healers, guardians, and mirrors dedicated to our awakening.